mindset, I'm sure, what's that look like for you?
To be honest, not much changes. Obviously, these games are win or go home, and we all know the magnitude of them. But your weekly process doesn't change. The way you watch film, the way you prepare. There's a reason you got here. Trust that and prepare the same way.
Jared, a lot of the team doesn't have experience under the bright lights, playoffs, the pressure. Just wondering how you ensure the team doesn't come out playing offensively too tight.
Yeah, no, I don't think we will. We've played in a lot of big games, a lot of them, and a lot of these guys have played in big games in college, and yeah, we'll be ready. We'll be ready. I don't worry about that for a second. We've got a lot of primetime experience under our belt at this point, and understand the magnitude of it.
Nothing's more challenging for quarterbacks than interior pressure. You've got not just Aaron Donald, but Kobe Turner playing at a really high level this year. Just the challenge that presents when you've got two interior linemen that's getting that kind of consistent penetration week after week.
Yeah, it's hard. They're both good. Obviously, Aaron is as good as anyone's ever been on the inside, and Kobe's having a hell of a year, man. He really is for a rookie. He's playing really well, and we have our hands full there, but our guys will be ready.
What was Aaron's demeanor like on the practice field? Is it as intense as we see kind of in the games? Was he like that every single day?
He was, and got a ton of respect for him and the way he works, and learned a lot from him.
I know the storylines we're all sort of talking about this week, and I know they're maybe not as important to you as they are to the people out here. But can you just share just what are your general feelings on Sean McVay?
Yeah, Sean and I are good. I think he's a great coach. I think he's obviously we had our differences there at the end, but he's a great coach. He's done a lot of great things, and he's a guy that taught me a lot.
Motivation obviously speaks for itself this week, but is there anything extra? Playing against your old team, your old coach.
I think no. I mean, obviously there's a personal connection there, and they're not just for me, but for a lot of our players and some of theirs as well. But no, I think I so badly want to win a game for this city and win a playoff game for this city that hasn't had one in so long. We got a home playoff game for the first time in so long, and that's so much more important than anything personally for me. I want to be a part of this win and do my job the best of my ability.
Any similarities? Reaction when you found out that y'all could be facing it's kind of like a storybook thing, I guess, in a sense. Like, what was your reaction that was going to be your opponent for the first?
Yeah, I was kind of tracking there for a few weeks, so wasn't surprised or anything. It's just something that we knew could happen. Obviously, it was probably either them or Green Bay going into that last week, and when it became them, we said ready to go and let's go do it.
Any similarities to this, to your first playoff game in LA? Sort of a first time in a long time for the city there and that team, that organization. Any similarities to this now with this team?
To the first year we went to the playoffs in LA?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think that year we were. It would be more similar, I think, to last year's team for us here, because the year prior to going to the playoffs in LA, we were 4-12 and struggling, and then the next year we bounced back and made the playoffs, and it was all kind of really quick. I think last year we kind of established ourselves as a team that was one game away from making the playoffs, and then this year winning the division. So it's a bit different.
You are one of the guys in the locker room that has had postseason experience. There's a ton of them. As a leader to the young guys, what's kind of your message to them about how they need to handle this week and handle the different level of intensity that comes with it?
I don't have the message for them. They're good to go. I get that question a lot around here because of how young we've been in the past, but I've kind of answered it the same every time. We've got guys who have played in big games. We've got guys who have played in big college games. Dan does a great job getting guys ready. It feels like I answer this question every year. We're on prime time against Green Bay last year, and how are these guys going to be ready for a game they haven't played in? And we go out and beat them in their place. And then we do the same thing against Kansas City early in the year. How are these guys going to be ready for a game like this? It's like they're ready. We'll be ready.
Just to follow up on John's question, if last year was sort of like that first playoff year in LA, does that make this year like 2018?
Yeah, the parallels are too hard to draw. It was so long ago. But I think the progression of a team, sure, from year 1 to year 3, it kind of does that. But no, the comparison of the teams is impossible to make.
Jared, you've been able to bring a new sense of energy to this fan base since you've been getting them to the playoffs. How does it feel to be a part of that and be that QB that finally are helping the Lions to get back into the playoffs?
Yeah, it feels good. It's exciting. It's been a goal of mine since I got here, seeing the opportunity to be a part of something that's from the ground up, and to be able to be where we're standing right now and have a chance to win the Super Bowl is pretty exciting. We've got a long way to go, and the Rams are the first team in our way, and we got to go handle business. But it's been a long road to this point, and it's a long road ahead as well.
Jared, when you think back to 2017, you were 18. Were there moments, things about the playoffs that surprised you when you hadn't experienced that before? Things you could kind
Yeah,
of.
I think the first time you play in the first one, I remember the speed is just a little bit ticked back up. I think the first game of the season, the speed is really high, and then as the season goes on, there's injuries and there's lulls in seasons, and it can get a bit slower. I mean, just a hair. And then I think I remember in that first playoff game for me, I'm like, oh boy, okay, it's back to the speed of the first game. And now, does that affect you winning or losing? I don't know. You kind of adjust pretty quickly, but knowing that heading into a game can help.
Can you reflect on just how much you've grown the past 3 years, just during your time in Detroit? Like, what areas specifically, and how much better do you think you are now as a player than you were?
A ton better. It's just reps, man. It's just reps, having guys here believe in me and trust me and kind of let me do my thing, and growing as a person, as a player, as a leader, learning what works for me, what doesn't work for me, how to handle certain situations. And then, yeah, again, on the football field, just reps, just seeing things over and over and over again, and knowing where to go with the ball.
Jared, speaking of former Rams, can you talk us through the end of the game this weekend, targeting Josh Reynolds, trying to help him get his contract incentives? Did that start with you or Coach Campbell? Can you talk about that?
Well, yeah, Ben was pretty aware of it early on in the week. He was really thinking about how we can get him the ball in a variety of ways throughout the week, and really on game day as well. Really trying to get him the ball, and it was frustrating at some points because we were calling plays for him, and the coverage would dictate the ball to go elsewhere, and so it was a bit frustrating trying to get it to him based on what they were doing on defense. So by the end, it was good. I'm glad he got that. I know he's happy about it, and yeah, it was a fun moment.
We know the door is open for Laporta to potentially play this week, which is probably better than a lot of people thought immediately after that injury. But if he's not able to go, can you just explain your confidence in the ability to kind of shift the pieces around with Ben and the options you still have if you don't have Sam this week?
Sure. Yeah, I think back to last year, what we were able to do with without Sam, and having Brock and James and even Zylstra at times there last year, and the creativity, getting those guys in the right spots, getting them open, and their ability to make plays. I think James is ready to go if his number's called. I think Brock's ready to go if his number's called. Those guys are playmakers and rise to the occasion pretty consistently. So, yeah, if Sam can't go, they'll be ready to go.
Is there some overlap, I guess, in the success in the two games, things too? Without St. Brown, I think both those games you guys found a way to put up a boatload of points.
This year?
One this year and then one last year, maybe Seattle last year.
Yeah. No, I think we'd like to have him out there, but I think it's a credit to those guys upstairs getting us a good plan, and guys rising to the occasion. Like I mentioned, I think we've got a great support group here that understands when their number gets called, it's time to go. I think about guys all year this year. I mean, even Donovan coming in halfway through the year now, and it seems like every time we've asked him to kind of get himself open and make a play, he's done it. J-Mo obviously doing some great things now. It's all, the tide is rising everywhere, and it's fun.
Jared, after seeing that banner reveal, you told your guys you're going after more banners. But my question is, I'm wondering, come Sunday night, once you see that banner up there next to the 83, 91, 93, how much more fuel can that add, knowing how long it took and, obviously wanted to continue this run?
Yeah, we want to continue it. Seeing that banner is exciting. It's an NFC North banner. It's a division title, but we got a lot more we're working for. And ultimately, the Super Bowl is the ultimate goal, and winning a championship around here, and something that hasn't been done in a long time. And we've got a great group who can do it. And it happens 1 week at a time, and got to go out and handle business this weekend.